I would like to welcome all the first PUC students who have decided to take up arts to this virtual class. Yes, I do understand that this is a little difficult for all of you, but due to the pandemic, we have no other options but to be thankful to technology as it has provided us with online or YouTube classes. The subject political science may be new to you, but you all have studied civics in school, where you have learnt about the three organs of the government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. You have also learnt constitution and government. Here, in political science, you will be studying in detail these topics along with a few other topics. Now, let me briefly introduce you to the subject political science before I talk to you about this year's syllabus. Man is a social animal who lives in society for his existence and growth. Man cannot live alone or isolated for long. He always needs other people for his existence or survival or daily basic needs. At the same time, man is also selfish by nature and he is quarrelsome. Hence, there is a saying: he who does not live in society is either God or a beast. Man has his own way of thinking, and this differs from person to person. This leads to conflict. Man is a social being and also a political being. Only in a society can man enjoy all facilities like love and affection. But since he is selfish, he is quarrelsome and jealous, and this leads to anarchy. Thus, he cannot lead his life happily and peacefully. In order to control the bad behavior of such people and punish them, and to establish a peaceful society, there should be rules and regulations. Thus, the state emerged to frame laws and to implement these rules through its agent called the government. Hence, the subject which systematically studies the state and government is political science. Aristotle is considered as the father of political science. In fact, in ancient India, the thinkers have referred to the concepts of political science in their works and historical documents like Kautilya's Arthashastra, Niti Sara, Rajadharma, Vedas, Ramayana, and Mahabharata. Now let us see what are the chapters, what we are going to study in this year. The first chapter deals with political science as a discipline, which consists of 10 marks in this chapter for your final examination. You will learn in this subject or in this chapter the meaning, nature, and scope. Then you will also study why we need to study political science. Why is it important for us to study? In the next chapter, state, we will learn about how the state came into existence. Why is it continuing to exist? What is the elements of the state? What is the difference between a state and a society? What is the difference between state and association? And what is the difference between state and nation? The third chapter, basic political concepts. Here we learn the different topics like sovereignty, law, liberty and equality, and rights. And this chapter, you will get 15 marks question in your final examination. Fourth chapter, Constitution and Government. The meaning of Constitution and what is the importance of having a Constitution. Then what are the meanings of constitutional government and its features. We will also learn the different types of constitutions: written constitution, unwritten constitution, rigid constitution, flexible constitution. We shall also learn what are the necessary things for an ideal constitution. We also learn about democratic and dictatorial government, unitary and federal government, parliamentary and presidential government. The fifth chapter, that is the Constitution of India. Here we will learn how the Constitution was made or who made the Constitution. It is the Constituent Assembly who made our Indian Constitution. In this Constitution, we have the preamble and the salient features of our Indian Constitution, which we will learn in detail. We will also learn about the fundamental rights and duties of the Indian citizens. And we will also learn about the right to education. The sixth chapter, that is legislature, deals with the meaning and importance of legislature. We have two types, union legislature and the state legislature. Then we also learn about the procedure of lawmaking in the legislature. Chapter 7, executive. The meaning and significance of the executive. How does the union exist? Executive exist? How does the union executive exist? It has a president, it has a vice president, the prime minister, and the council of ministers. Then there is the state executive, governor, appointment, their power, and their functions. Then under the state executive, you also have the chief minister. So we will be learning about all this in the executive chapter. Next, chapter 8, judiciary. You will get questions from this chapter for 19 marks. Judiciary's meaning and importance, and there are different types of courts, that is the Supreme Court and the High Court. Supreme Court at the center, High Court at the state level, and the district courts, where we will learn all about the revenue courts, the consumer courts, the family courts, and others. Then we will also learn about the independence of the Indian judiciary. And the last chapter, chapter 9, talks about democratic decentralization, where we will learn about the 73rd and the 74th Constitutional Amendments Act. Then we will learn about the Panchayat Raj system with special reference to Karnataka, that is the rural local self-government. Then we will also learn about corporations, city municipal councils, and town municipal councils, which come under the urban local self-government. Now coming to your examination point of view, you will have a theory examination which will consist of 100 marks paper. And in each subject, that is in political science, you need to achieve 35 marks to pass or to be promoted to the second PUC class. Your examination pattern. You will have 10 compulsory questions, which each consists of 1 mark each. You have to write it in one sentence and you have to write all the questions. I have to attempt all the questions. Next is there will be 12 questions given. You have to answer any 10 questions in 2 to 3 sentences. That is 10 into 2, 20 marks. Then you will have 5 marks questions. There will be 10 questions which are given. You have to choose any 8 questions and write each question with 5 to 10 sentences each, 8 into 5. Answer any 2 questions, that is 4 questions will be given to you. You have to write the answer in 30 to 40 sentences. So 10 marks each, so 20 marks you will get. And the fifth part is there will be 4 questions. You have to choose any 2. You have to write 5 to 10 sentences each, and you will get 5 marks For each question answered, so you will get 10 marks. And this is how your first PUC textbook looks like. You will get it in Sapna Book House, so you can buy a textbook or collect it from your old senior students. Every week when we have the regular classes or even the virtual classes, we will have 5 theory classes per week. Now, you have already selected arts, you have chosen political science as your subject, dear students. Now, what are the options for you? What are the career options for you? You can become a teacher or a lecturer. You can prepare for your civil service and become a civil servant. You can become a journalist. You have options to do research and become a policy analyst. You can become police officers or social workers. And the most important of all, if you become a politician, you will surely be a good and an efficient politician because you have studied political science as your subject. Thank you, dear students, for joining St. Philomena's P.U. College. Have a bright future.